This is the time of year when everyone is buzzing about new curriculum and classes and co-op schedules. But before you get swept away with all the shiny plans, don't forget to actively deschool. Yes, even if you've been homeschooling for a while, and even if you think you've already done it, you've already deschooled, you're done. So, if you're new here, I'm Liana Francisco. I post here as Original Unschooler. I'm 42 years old and I was unschooled from birth until I started college at 16. So, I started college in 1999. There weren't very many people homeschooling yet, certainly not very many people unschooling. It was truly the Wild West pioneer days for unschooling. We had some art supplies and a library card, but there was no internet until I was much older. There were no podcasts to guide my parents, very little community. It was just my parents' commitment to trusting their children's ability to learn and develop naturally. So, today I want to talk to you about what deschooling really means, why it's crucial, and how you keep it in mind as you plan your upcoming school year so you don't accidentally rebuild school at home. So, first things first, deschooling is not just taking a break from school. It's a mindset shift. It's the process of letting go of all of these school-based assumptions about what learning has to look like. For many of us, we were taught that learning happens in a certain order, that learning needs a schedule and evaluation like grades or tests to be legitimate, and that kids need to be told what they need to learn and when they need to learn it. But deschooling says something very different. It says, wait, what if learning is always happening? What if we trust curiosity instead of a syllabus? What if we forget the timelines? When I say this, I say it as someone who never went to school. I grew up unschooled, right? So I know firsthand that learning doesn't require all those layers of control. And now, raising my own unschooled kids, I see it again every day. So this time of year is the danger zone for falling back into those old patterns. This time of year and like the middle of winter. So you're excited, you're nervous, you want to do right by your kids, so you buy that new planner and the curriculum and the color bins and the wall charts and the new printer. And before you know it, you have rebuilt school at home. But here's the thing, unschooling and self directed education thrive in spaciousness. You and your child need space to follow interests, to play, to discover who they are outside of learning standards. You especially, like you, the parent, need space to notice your own programming, asking yourself questions like, or noticing things like, do I feel anxious if we don't do enough? Do I feel better when a certain number of worksheets are finished? Do I believe kids must be busy with structured learning for us to be on track? Deschooling is not really for the kids because they can switch pretty fast, even if they've been in school a long time. It's for you. It's the continual acknowledgement and intentional release of these old beliefs. Even as an unschooler, I still have them sometimes parenting because culture reminds us all the time of these benchmarks of where children need to be and what success needs to look like for children. So, how do you actively deschool while everyone else is filling in all of their planners? So, here's some ideas. One, schedule unstructured time first. Before you plan units or sign up for classes, block off big chunks of time of white space on your calendar. And those are sacred. Don't fill them in with things. Those are for wandering, experimenting, or having an entire day of read alouds and hot cocoa. Here's a second option. Question every should that enters your mind. When you catch yourself thinking, we should be doing more math, just pause and ask, is this about my child's needs or is it about my fear of falling behind? A third idea, learn alongside them. Pick something you've always wanted to try, gardening, sketching, learning to cook a new cuisine, and do it side by side. Let them see you wrestle with mistakes and curiosity. That's real education. Some of my formative memories as a child were watching my parents learn a new skill or try to figure out something they didn't know how to do. For example, my mom would, the VCR was broken. She would get out a screwdriver and she would take that thing apart, try to figure out how to fix it. My dad might have a home improvement project or a new interest. At one point, he got really interested in brewing beer and he went to the library, got every book he could find on the subject. You read it, you learn, trial and error, right? That's teaching your children how to learn. Another idea, number 4, watch for your own triggers. If you feel panic when your child chooses coloring over a workbook, for example, write that down. That's gold. That's a place to deschool your own mindset. And lastly, number 5, celebrate the invisible learning. Maybe your child spent an hour in complex make-believe with toys or watching YouTube videos about how birds build nests. That counts. Write it down if you need that reminder. That's learning in action happening right before your eyes. So now I'm not saying don't plan at all. Planning can feel really good, and having a plan can help you feel confident and create some routine to structure your week around. I plan every year with my kids, but let your planning be guided by real interests from within the family, not a list of shoulds. And make sure you have plenty of space for the unplanned. When you look at curriculum or classes, ask yourself, does this support who my child is right now? Or am I recreating school because it feels safer? And when you look at your week, ask, does this schedule leave room for slow mornings or lazy afternoons, spontaneous projects, and new unexpected interests to emerge? Remember, deschooling is not a phase that you get through. It's an ongoing practice, especially in seasons like this. So as you sit down with those planners and your Pinterest boards, keep this in mind. Your child's learning doesn't need a syllabus. Your family's learning journey is allowed to look nothing like school, and that's the beauty of it. If this resonates with you, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. I'm building this channel. I need lots of support. Share this with a friend who's deep in homeschooling planning. And tell me in the comments, what's one belief about learning you're ready to let it go of this year? Thanks for spending these few minutes with me. Happy deschooling, and I'll see you in the next video.